Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Wrestling World Talks with Dan and Mac.
Same old Raw, same old start of the year. Nothing really special happened on Monday. And I guess you could call it Monday Night Mid. Even
Monday
though
Night Commercial.
Yes.
Monday Night Commercial.
Monday Night
Ruby
Commercial.
Raw. Commercial.
We do have new women's tag team champions as Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated the Kabuki Warriors. We also have a new women's Intercontinental champion as Becky Lynch becomes the first woman to win that title for the second time, defeating Maxine Dupree, getting the championship back. So Becky Lynch is champion again, which it was funny. I saw someone comment over the last few days saying that to them, it was just like, is it in her contract that she has to be either holding a title or chasing one at the same time? So
No, it's because they want to set up her and AJ for WrestleMania. That's really what it is.
that's the rumor. That's the big rumor. I mean,
Which you don't have to do that now. Just throwing that out there.
you don't, but that's their way of doing things. They want to just push it from 3 months out. It's just like, do we really need that for the next 3 months? You know, like
It stinks.
if you really want to do AJ versus Becky, I really don't think you need to have a championship involved. I feel like that they have reached legend status enough, both of them on their own merit, where they don't have to have a championship involved. So having Becky Lynch be champion again is a bit redundant.
But did you see the rumor that it's because they didn't really have any opponents for Maxine Dupree? Did you see that in the news as well?
So why don't you make them?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
simple.
it's ridiculous.
Just make them. You have all these call-ups coming up from NXT because now it's finally you start thinking about, oh, we got to start stocking the shelves for our main roster because that's a little thin these days between injuries and people leaving and, of course, injuries are the big important thing to really discuss. But a lot of people are mad. No injury, no real big surprises this past Monday. No Chris Jericho, which was reported earlier in the day by Fightful, saying that Chris Jericho was technically still under contract by All Elite Wrestling. And he was not moved out of the active roster on their website. He's still on there. So that didn't happen. That wasn't, there was no confirmation there. And
That's why it's a rumor, ladies and gentlemen.
It's funny how CM Punk was talking about that this week on, I think, your Mom's Basements podcast. Some of these podcasts are so weird, but he was just like, I love these guys that get mad because the fantasy booking didn't go the way that they thought it would. And he said it's almost like it's some sort of mental illness because here's wrestling fan 1,300,000 something that said this might happen tonight and it didn't happen. So they're mad about it because this one guy who really has no bearing that's why on this program, folks, I tend not to try to gossip. I give you my opinion and prediction of what I think might happen, but I tend not to gossip and also just create these rumors out of nowhere. I tend to have these predictions with what is called logic and also having an educated wrestling brain, which some people, especially how they've reacted to the John Cena retirement and the tap out and all that stuff, saying that he should have won in his last match and all this stuff. They're not using their wrestling fan brain, an educated wrestling fan brain a little bit. And I think that has been a bit of a thing that has been lacking in the wrestling fandom these days, even sometimes on our own website.
Yeah, but you know what, though, man? You can't make everybody happy.
Yes.
You just can't. No matter what you do, somebody's going to be pissed off. It doesn't matter if
Uh,
it's you, if it's me, if it's the writers on the page, like you kind of alluded to, or just the regular fans. You cannot make everybody happy. You just can't. To that point, I understand why some people like certain promotions better, certain stars better, or whoever. But to sit there and say that Cena should have won his last match, I disagree.
Highly. It's again, what Gunther has been on Raw every Monday since John Cena retired. John Cena has not had an appearance since then because he's retired. So it doesn't make any sense at all to have the guy that's going to be to work on Monday lose to the guy who's never going to be back. And also, this past Monday, speaking of people that have been speaking up, Braun Breaker last weekend went on the record saying that he finds it embarrassing that there have been no world champions, male world champions in WWE under the age of 30 in close to a decade. The last one was Bray Wyatt in 2017. And I say in response to Braun Breaker, it's not the NFL, it's not the NBA, and it's not the NHL, where younger is considered the better option and more reliable. When it comes to the wrestling industry, you might not peak until you're 35 because it takes a while to kind of master this stuff. It does. It's not just the athletic part of it. It's about timing in the ring. It's about feeling that, Hulk Hogan won the WWF Championship in 1984 when he was 30 years old. And he was champion for close to 4 years. Ric Flair won his first world championship when he was the age of 32. And people thought he was done at the age of 41. And he was still one of WCW's most highest rated segments. Even in 1999, in the year 2000, when he was 50 and 51 years old, respectively. CM Punk is close to the age of 50 and has been one of the most reliable box office draws since he returned to wrestling 4.5 years ago. John Cena just had a successful retirement tour as he is pushing the age of 50 and was also in the main event of WrestleMania and the main event of SummerSlam. And the people came and went and paid a lot of money to see him. They bought the merchandise. CM Punk still sells tickets. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the top 10 sellers of merchandise in 2025, 2026. And he hasn't been full-time in almost a quarter century. The wrestling business is very tough for the fans to kind of, what I would call, move on. Because there's always that opportunity for that star to come back, and the fans are going to pay to see it. Ric Flair, at the advanced age that he was, 73, 74 years old, when he had his retirement match, his last match, and they had to move it from a fairgrounds to an actual arena because the ticket demand was so high. And this is to see someone that is way past their prime. Even though Lou Thesz fought in Japan in the 70s as well. Andre the Giant was working up until, I think, December of 92. He died in January of 93. So and Hogan retired, I think, was done in 2006 because of his back injuries. At least his last WWF match WWE match was in 06. And then he would have a few in Impact, and like his last match was 2012, 2011. So
Something like that,
it's if a star is still there, people are still going to pay. And I don't think people are ready to pay to see Braun Breaker as world champion. And
not right now, definitely not.
not right now.
Can I just add something real quick here to the fact that we're talking about that social media post, and then come Monday, I know we're jumping the gun by a lot. We have a couple matches to talk about, but he fucking blushes.
The Frankensteiner.
Yeah, and like, listen, I it's ironic because I did think the botch told a story almost, right? How he's the young kid, he's coming in, he fucks up, and CM Punk's the grizzled veteran, and he ends up winning the match. But it's like, dude, you're not doing yourself any favors when you have the social media post and then botch in the match. You just don't.
I mean, I get his mentality of, that's a sports mentality of get out of the way, old man, and I get that. There's still, and he's still also trying to work a gimmick. But at the same time, you can't say something like that, and then go into the championship match and then make mistakes. And I mean, there was a post made on Pro Wrestling World by Danny Dangerously, some guy I know.
That fucking asshole. Holy shit.
That fucking guy's a dick.
Yeah!
I don't like him at all. He says some terrible things that make people unhappy on Pro Wrestling World and also on Wrestling Glory Days. So,
and he's just a fucking schlub for himself too, for Christ's sake.
He really is. He puts himself over constantly.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Just constantly. But he plugs us every time.
He does. That's true. Yeah.
So
he does do that.
But he made a comment saying that it was instant karma, and us is saying that maybe that if Braun Breaker wants to make an impact in his 20s as an athlete, he should go back. He should go in the NFL. And then he said, "Oh wait, he did, womp womp," because that's pretty much the way that. And it's like everything that I said in recent weeks about Braun Breaker. I'm just like, I don't know if this guy's the guy. And then the Frankensteiner, and it's just like, oh shit, oh, biggest match of his life. The move made famous by his uncle lands on his head.
You know what though, man?
Can't make it up.
I'm gonna say this one thing. I know we're jumping the gun again with this match, but he didn't look bad until that point.
No.
He was showing new moves that he doesn't really display very often. He looked, all things considered, he looked good in the ring, not for nothing. He showed and proved he can be more than a one-trick pony with his spear. And then he botches a move, and it's like, crap!
Crap!
Still not the greatest on the mic, though, but that can change in time.
I
he got better over the last couple of weeks, I'll argue that, but it's like, still not great.
I know we're jumping the gun, but to be honest, folks, we were landed some interesting stuff today, but it has nothing to do with wrestling. But if you're a fan of if you're a subscriber to our to Diamond Podcasting Productions, look out for that episode. Yeah! Also, if you're a fan of us on Facebook under Diamond Podcasting Productions, that'll also be posted there too. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. Yeah. And if you're not following us on Diamond Podcasting Productions, and you're just following us on anywhere you can get this fine podcast, please be sure to go on YouTube, look up Diamond Podcasting Productions, throw us a sub, and also a like, as we're going to finally post something exclusive.
Something else!
Something very juicy and sizzling.
So I want to take that for a second, just real quick. So I was trying to set it up before we started recording this. I'll do more of that later. You and I will handle that. But if you've ever, especially if you're in the Massachusetts, maybe New England area, you've probably heard of Turtle Boy. You've probably heard of him from the Karen Reed trial, maybe even before that. You probably know who Aiden Carney is. He's the real Turtle Boy, that's his real life name, and everything that came out of the Karen Reed trial and everything else. You may know other, content creators, Nurse Kim, Mazda Media, The Glare. It's very much like that in context of what we're going to do later on YouTube. So, as Dan said, if you don't follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube, go there, check us out, Diamond Podcasting Productions. It'll be a lot of fun, I think, for this episode.
It will also be posted on our Facebook page, the whole episode.
Will. Yep.
Only because of the fact that there's a lot of... This is a personal matter, business that will be aired later. So that's why it's going to be on Facebook. So I just wanted to give a cheap plug.
Oh, no, I absolutely. Absolutely. I get it.
Especially, too, we were talking about Braun Breaker, and the person that we're going to be discussing kind of reminds me.
There are those similarities now that you put it, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very similar right now, right?
Yeah, I feel like you've said some things about both parties that relate to each other, maybe a little bit, but...
Yeah.
But, as we said, check us out on YouTube, definitely. We'll put it on Facebook as well under Diamond Podcasting Productions. But back to Monday Night NyQuil, I feel like, or Monday Night Commercial.
Monday Night Quill!
Monday Night Commercial, but yep, as you said...
We got Bongo over there!
Oh my goodness.
Commercial!
I'm going to fire him over the phone, no less.
Oh my goodness. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeat the Kabuki Warriors to become the women's tag team champions. I believe the next match was Becky and Maxine. I think that was the next one. For the Intercontinental Championship, Becky wins to absolutely piss everybody else off, I felt like, in this match. I don't think anybody wanted Becky to win. Apparently, her attire is a shout-out to the Star Trek character that she's supposed to be playing in whatever new show is coming out that's Star Trek, which I didn't know any of that, so...
Yeah, we're Trekkies, and we were just like, what?
I felt like I'd probably heard it before, but I did not remember it whatsoever. But the other factor here for me was when I first saw it, I don't know what it was about her outfit that I just go Power Rangers! Just, it looked like a fucking Power Ranger outfit.
I saw her haircut, and I was just like...
In the show, you mean? Or that? Because I didn't recognize
no,
that.
The show. The show. I saw the show. It's weird.
Maybe she's going to be a Vulcan. Who knows, man? I don't know. But, yeah, Becky defeats Maxine. I think it pissed everybody off. I know it pissed me off. I know it pissed other people off. I get it from a storyline standpoint, but you didn't have the belt on Maxine enough to really solidify her as a single star, I felt like.
No, I don't feel like you did. Becky doesn't need the belt.
No, she doesn't.
Again, we talked about it earlier of just like if they're going to do AJ Lee and Becky Lynch WrestleMania,
don't need a belt.
You don't need a belt. Exactly. Just make it a grudge match. Why do you need a belt?
Plus, it's in freaking April.
Exactly. We're still in
3.5 more months, basically. Just come on, man.
We're still in early January. We're not even at mid-January yet. I mean, even though WWE is already in mid-season form with their first Raw of the year, and it's like, all right, great.
My reaction though was just threw my head back in disgust. So before we move on, actually, let's backtrack for just a quick second. Did you dislike, or maybe even indifferent to the Stranger Things quote unquote crossover? How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I don't know if you'd want to be representing Stranger Things right now, considering the way that ended.
Fair,
but when you're making that Netflix money, you got to do what they ask. Even though, unfortunately, Stranger Things has gone the way of the Game of Thrones and the other entities that had
Walking
these
Dead,
tremendous. Maybe? No, the thing about Walking Dead is, even I told you at one point, I was just like, how can they end this? And it looked at me and you just said,
I think it just shrugged.
once Rick goes, I'm done. And that's what happened. Once Rick went, you were like, I'm done. And even that went on for a couple of more years. But
the thing is, so just real quick, I'm sorry. Spoilers notwithstanding, if you have not watched Walking Dead and ever want to, maybe check out for the next 2 minutes. In the comics, he doesn't die. Maybe I should have paused longer. But he shouldn't have died. He does not die in the comics, so why kill him? And I get it. Andrew Lincoln is an actor. He want to do other stuff, and I respect that. I'm fine with that. But why? Why kill him off?
he done since, by the way?
I have no idea. I didn't follow his career.
Exactly.
But I don't follow his
Like,
career. I don't do that. There's
I
only
get-
certain actors that I really follow like that.
I get his logic of, though, maybe you're tired of the role and things like that. But the thing is that I wasn't going to include The Walking Dead because it just ran on for too long. I'm just talking about series that, like, I look at The Sopranos, and at the time I was just like, what a cop-out ending. And now as I go on and you realize what it meant, you're like,
So
that's brilliant.
I guess for me, it's a different context. I don't disagree with what you said, though. For me, it's more like maybe you did go on too long, but you had seasons that were good and seasons that were really bad.
Like Game of Thrones, I look at how everything up through the Battle of the Bastards was lining up perfectly as far as television is concerned. As far as like, okay, you're running a perfect game here, but you still got like 6 outs to go, and you blow it the fucking 8th inning. You don't even blow it the 9th. You blow it the fucking 8th.
So good analogy. The other one that comes to my mind is the one with the meme of the horse, where it's like a stallion all the way through until it gets to one part that's a fucking stick figure horse. That's
or the
Game of
three-headed
Thrones.
dragon.
Or the three-headed dragon. Yeah, that's
Yes,
another one.
or the three-headed dragon, because it's just that you're setting it up perfectly. Like the battle through the season 1 through the Battle of the Bastards of Game of Thrones, like, you can't get more perfect storytelling of a television show, maybe in history. You are lined up perfect, and it was like Spider-Man 3. It's like you just cram too much in a short amount of time. And 2, the main guy who's the writer of all this, you've outpaced his writing. So there's no more of his stuff. You've outpaced
you're
him.
not wrong.
You're like, he's not there as the source material to help you with this. So it's like, I think Cornette made the fucking
But he
analogy
wrote
one time.
some of
It's just
that
like,
shit, man. He
did write some of it, but I look at Cornette. Cornette like said at one time, he's just like, so pretty much you're right. Like someone's starting this murder mystery novel, and then me and like jerk off Kevin Dunn have to finish this thing, or like me and Russo have to finish this thing. Like
there's so many better analogies, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's just like the analogy of that, and it's just like there's very few shows, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, that stuck the landing, and Better Call Saul probably at the same time. I have to put that in the same category.
So
but
so hold on. You
just
can't though, because you didn't watch it, and I know you didn't when you say that. I didn't watch the ending of Better Call Saul yet. I haven't watched that entire last season, and I'll be fully transparent, right? So I was sick the other day, and as I was sick, I had nothing to do, so I rested. And when I wasn't resting, I was watching the last season of Stranger Things. So to your point, I'll be fully transparent in saying this. I fell asleep in that last 2-hour episode at probably maybe like 20 minutes in. I was dead tired. Like I said, I was sick. I woke up maybe like right at the end of that whatever fight they're going to have, right? 11 and the main character, obviously, and Vecna, who's the main bad guy. I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going back to watch it because the ending sucked that bad.
it's just that
I get it. But I'm gonna play spoiler. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do it. You're not gonna watch it anyways. I know you're not.
probably not.
So it's more a conversation with you than the internet. But internet, I apologize.
skip ahead. All right, if you
skip
have to,
skip like
5
2
or
minutes.
10 minutes.
Skip no, not even 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So she supposedly dies. 11. Okay, I think everybody kind of knows that at this point. I know there's spoilers out there, like I said, but she basically is supposed to die. But you watch shows like this, and it's kind of left ambiguous, right? You don't see her actually die, so hey, there's that chance somewhere that she's still alive, right? But you should have left it ambiguous. So whatever at the tail end, they're all having a conversation basically, and they allude to the fact that she might be alive somewhere else. And I just go, why the fuck did you just say it? You don't say the quiet part out loud, but they said the quiet part out loud.
Because there's always that window of opportunity to make more money down the line.
But you know what, Dan? It reminds me of Spaceballs. Because good is dumb.
Exactly. And the fact is that I just felt like when you take too much time sometimes.
Oh, 100%. That was going to be my next comment, actually, if we kept talking about it.
When you take so much time to write something, to put something together, number one, you lose momentum, which ultimately they did. And number two, the part of that charm was those kids being like the age of
as kids, not as teenagers.
And now it's like they're fucking they're almost 25 for Christ's sake. They can rent a car, and you're trying to make it sound like that. Oh, okay. Where are we at now with these kids? Come on. Frickin' Mike was helping the Ghostbusters 2 years ago, for crying out loud, ruining my life. But that's besides the point. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Jesus Christ. I was just talking about that today. Somebody brought that up to me again. They're just like, wasn't it you that said that last Ghostbusters movie was terrible? I said, when I have to get up and pee during a movie, you know it's bad.
Well,
I said, because I do whatever I can.
Hold on, at the movie theater. We should clarify that. You can get up during a movie and pause it, whatever. But when you're at the movie theater, seeing it on opening week, yeah, it's bad. That's bad.
It's like Dan's going to pee during a climax. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
I think my reaction was just like, oh shit. He does not like this movie.
No, I got vocal at one point. You knew when I got loud, because I normally just sit there and I try to be calm and I just absorb everything. And there's been some bad movies that I've liked. Some people don't like Iron Man 2. I like Iron Man 2.
I thought it was okay. I didn't love it, but I thought it was good.
I didn't love it, but I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
It's better than Iron Man 3.
That's
not saying much.
We are the same person sometimes, I swear to God.
But there have been, last week, me and Steph, we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which was, if you've ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, of course, it's almost like borderline snuff film. But it's the same director who did it. It's 10 years later,
right?
But it's the most bonkers movie that we've ever seen in our lives. Because it's Dennis Hopper's in it, and there's a dueling chainsaw fight between him and Leatherface. It's ridiculous. It's this complete, over the top, almost like Scooby-Doo movie that, yeah, Leatherface is out there killing people, and Dennis Hopper is out there with dueling chainsaws. Yeah, it's one of those movies. It's just this is kind of like a fever dream, but I'm all right with it. But there are a lot of times that things just don't live up to the hype. They just don't. And I felt like that with the new Ghostbusters film, I'm just sitting there, and of course, all of us go together, and it's come on, let's all be happy about this. And
well, the first one was good.
I'm in it.
The first Ghostbusters reboot was good. So
it's really good.
I think we had certain expectations going to this movie that it was going to be better. Meanwhile, I would argue this was the worst in the entire franchise. That includes the one with all-woman cast with Chris Hemsworth.
which I haven't seen, by the way.
I feel like this might be worse. I'm just going to throw that out there now. I feel like this was worse. But speaking of what you just kind of alluded to and what I also said, not having great expectations, not living up to the hype, to bring it back after that conversation, was this Raw. This Raw did not live up to anybody's expectations.
It didn't.
Take away the Jericho thing. Take away this Rollins supposedly being in the back thing. Take away all of that. It still wasn't good.
No, it wasn't.
Listen. You probably couldn't hear it, but I was playing like clapping because Jericho wasn't there. I'm gonna play it again right now as we're talking because I'm glad he wasn't there. Anybody who wanted that, I need to ask you, why?
But why?
Why?
That's literally has been me for the last 6 months. For anybody that has wanted Chris Jericho to come back, because he was washed 3 years ago in AEW. Like, he was washed. I didn't want him around anymore. I still, I still remember. I still remember that World's End where they were chanting NDA.
Yeah,
and
I still chant it anytime I see him.
Situation when those reports came out, and I remember him also getting bashed by NBA fans because AEW was the lead-in or it was the after for NWA basketball.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they saw Jericho and they just body shamed the shit out of him. So that was the general sports fan. That wasn't just, wrestling fans. That was the NBA flow over that was just like, what the hell? Jericho looks like crap. And I'm seeing these pictures now and Jericho looks in shape and all that stuff. First of all, if I was Tony Khan and anybody that was in the management of AEW, if I see those pictures, I'd be furious because pretty much that just showed me that Chris Jericho took your money and didn't take it seriously because he wasn't in shape. They called it the Jericho Vortex for a reason because he didn't get anybody over. If anything, he took away people's star power and he took away from, I don't remember him ever really putting anybody over to an extent that made them better, or made them a bigger star.
It's the learning tree.
I think there was that, I forget that random guy that beat him on TV that they did nothing with, after that.
Well, I feel like that was half the roster.
But it was like this marquee moment that they were trying to make of just hey, and it's just and it did nothing. They did nothing with it. I think that guy was on Dark and then pretty much after that, I do not remember the guy who did it. Forgive me, but that's how meaningless at that point that they made it. And this is the same guy now that the majority of the WWE audience is pining for him to come back. And I ask everybody, why? Why do you want to put yourself through that? Why do you want to put the audience through that? Because the fact of the matter is this, folks, Chris Jericho was very good for AEW within that first 2.5 years of that existing contract. I did not disagree when the Wrestling Observer gave him the big box office draw award, I think in 2019, for wrestling. I didn't disagree with that just because of the fact that what he did to kind of put AEW on the map and really try to make wrestling matter again, at least in the national scene. And I'll give Jericho the credit. His visibility and his star power was setting AEW up for success. But I still remember those promos. I remember that famous one when, he was out there with, Jake Hager and the fans were chanting, "We the people," and he made the comment of just like bad creative and all this stuff. So it was him taking verbal shots in the very first beginning of AEW on national television against the competition, WWE. This is the same guy that said, if WWE gave me a Hall of Fame induction, I don't want that. He said that on several different occasions. But now he's going to run back to that company and everybody is going to welcome back with open arms. And I'm supposed to remain quiet about it and just bask in the fact of, drink it in, man, I'm back. No. This is the same Chris Jericho that I have felt like in the last 5 or 6 years has been that veteran that has held back the younger talent. I look at CM Punk last year, and you look at his winning percentage and as far as the matches that he had last year, I think it was at like 57, 58%. Like, he did what he could and put guys over when he needed to, and it wasn't like he had a dominant year where he beat everybody. And he took a lot of L's against guys to help them get over. Of course, too, there was some chicanery that people would be like, well, clean work. Look at CM Punk is one of the biggest stars in the company right now. And he was just in a Disney movie with Roman Reigns. And he's also going to be doing more movies and things like that. He is a mainstream star, a top level star. And again, it goes back to the Braun Breaker conversation that we had. People are still paying to see him. AEW, they weren't paying to see Chris Jericho the last couple of years. He was just there. And
so can I ask you a question then real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think they're paying to see Andrade?
No.
So yeah, I guess we'll talk a little bit about that briefly. AEW is on Wednesday, obviously, this week, after Raw had already aired, of course. But Andrade is back with AEW now that he has settled his little non-compete clause or whatever it was.
Not a surprise at all. I mean, and good for him. He's got the right to make a living in this industry. I mean, even though his exit from the company is questionable at best.
But you know what it is? It's like they brought him back in the mask, brought him back in the Don Callis family again, which is exactly what they did a couple months ago when they brought him in the first place. And all I could think of was like, didn't you do this already? Didn't you just do this already?
They need to remind people. It's just like, because.
But do they?
Well, that first time really didn't happen because technically it was a breach of contract. Except it was on national television. It didn't happen, though. It did happen. It didn't.
But it did.
But it's on HBO Max. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
They just cut the segment.
I know. It's crazy. But
never happened.
Yeah, I just thought that part was funny. But yeah, just bring that back to Raw real quick. The next match was Liv Morgan in her return match, even though she's been back for about a month. Her first match was Monday, and it was defeating Lyra Valkyria.
Well, as well as she should, because
I feel bad for Lyra, man.
But
she's got talent. Like, don't get me wrong, she's got talent. Yeah, she's not great on the mic, but you keep doing just this bullshit with her.
She's just like 22, 23. It's like,
I thought she was older. I thought she was like 24, 25, something like that.
Yeah, but like, she's young. Like, she's not.
She is, but still. You set her up. You set her up strong. And
I know you're setting her up strong.
Tiffany Stratton's young too. I mean, not for nothing.
But Liv Morgan is like, she's proven that
Lyra,
she's been
Lyra Valkyria is actually 29.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought she was younger. God.
Tiffany is, I know that, but I mean,
yeah, I know, but like, and I know Roxanne Perez is, but like,
yeah, Roxy I think is 24 for sure.
Roxanne, she might be 23.
Yeah.
But and which you're set 24. Up for like a decade.
She just turned 24 actually in November.
You're set up for like a decade with her. And
Listen,
it's-
like we've talked about this though, man. Like women wrestling is just over. It's massively over. It's arguably better than the men's right now. It's just it is. What did we say last week when we did the 2025 in review? Basically, that women's wrestling was better
thank
than
God
men's
for
wrestling.
women's wrestling.
Yeah,
And it's not just WWE either. It's also AEW. They've had a great year for women's wrestling as well. So it's been in general. Like I've been saying that too since 2016, especially like in 2015, 2016, the whole women's revolution thing. I got on that board early only because of the fact it's like I see the talent. I see the hard work that they've done. I've seen the industry evolve from just like, men's main events. It's like, no, these girls, you want to put them in the main event spot at WrestleMania, you can do it. You got the talent that can do it. It's funny to me where you can put Liv Morgan in the main event scene, and you can put Rhea Ripley in the main event scene. You could put Bailey in the main event scene. There's so many women that they can't put in the main event scene. So Lyra's going to get her chance eventually. It's just like, I mean, she might not. I mean, it might get to a point of it's just like, well, creative has nothing for you, which is sad, but it's just, you're so stacked up top, and there's more talent that you got Jordan Grace that's probably going to be making the move up. There's more probably other female talent that's going to be coming up from NXT. Blake Monroe, I've heard, has been thrown out there.
I heard that's like eminent too.
Yeah, so things are really starting to change with the roster, and they have the Braun Breaker stuff too. We'll touch on with later on, of course, but
yeah. I mean, to your point though, like I don't disagree with Liv winning this match. I just mean in general though, like they're just not doing anything with Lyra. In general, I agree. This match, no, Liv should have won. I just want to make sure that's clear. Like I'm a big Lyra fan. Like I think she's great. I think she has a lot of potential, but they're just doing dog shit with her. Like I know the Bailey thing is whatever, but it hurt Lyra in the end. Taking the IC belt off her when they did, I'm not gonna say it helped her or hurt her. It was a decent feud. You could have then escalated Lyra to some better feud instead of going to a tag team with Bailey. It just
right.
You've already solidified her as a single star. More so, I felt like, than you did with Maxine during her Intercontinental run.
Right.
It's just do something, and it's just a question of their booking. This match, though, specifically this match, oh yeah, Liv should have gone way over. Like I'm sorry.
No, she should have. You're right.
But yeah, that does bring us to the last match, which is CM Punk defending and retaining against Braun Breaker.
Thank God. I think that was my number one legitimate concern from the you asshole. Really?
Bitch.
She literally just walked like across my lap, and of course where the cord was for my headphones. So just be like annoying in two different ways. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, exactly. It's just like for no reason whatsoever. She's doing it again for no reason.
Really, Daria?
Bitch. Really? You have a shitty attitude.
She is attitude.
She really is. You have a shitty attitude.
One of the jokes I heard this week, though, was Braun Breaker, more like Braun Butcher.
Boo ran.
That was a good one.
That was pretty good, yeah. I was okay with that. I was okay with that.
Like, take my wife, please. Like, it's just...
Shut up and take my money.
Literally, I would have handed that guy like a tip. I would have been like, yeah, you earned it. Like, like, it's just...
I wish I caught it, like who said it, but I'd seen it more than once, I felt like. And I was like, damn, that's good.
God, every time, probably from the Doomsday Device spot when he landed on his head, and then the Frankensteiner one. I'm sure the Triple H's defibrillator went off both times, only because of the fact.
Oh, you mean
It's just like,
yeah?
because it's just like which is completely stupid. That you just want to. He's the guy that you got to put all your eggs in one basket. It's like, again, really.
I wonder
You
if
gotta put
that's
it
when they
on
called
one
the
of these
audible.
idiots.
I wonder if that's when they called the audible. By the way, fuck it, I'm not putting it on. I'm telling the ref no.
No, we can't. It's got to be perfect. No, we can't do it tonight. No. Like,
I always
literally was
wonder
like,
if this is why they didn't do anything with LA Knight for the amount of times that he botched that, running up the top rope, like jumping up there with the guy. He's botched that a couple times. I don't, but hold on, like, to be fair, I don't think that's always in his control. Like, it could be sweat, build up, wax, whatever. It could be anything. He could just slip. I never put that on him because he tries. And if he slips, he slips. A move like the Frankensteiner, though, that shouldn't be botched. That shouldn't have been botched.
I also see him like LA Knight, like we were talking about his booking this year, where it's like I could see him winning the Rumble this year and then challenging at Mania against CM Punk, like because really at this point it is it's like, okay, pretty sure it's going to be Cody and Rome again, but then it's like, so what are we doing else? What else are we doing? Okay, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Okay, that's good. But it's like, okay, so who's going to win the Rumble? Is it going to be Roman again? Is it going to be somebody else?
I don't want any of that.
Wait, you don't want Roman and Cody?
No.
Yeah.
If they were going to do it, they should.
match.
Listen, if they're going to do it, they should have done it this year. Should have.
Well, they should have. But of course,
I get it 3 years in a row and maybe get
Retirement
off and yes, that too. But it doesn't do anything for me now.
but I mean,
It's like it's like Arlie Ermy in Full Metal Jacket. Bullshit, you didn't convince me. They've done nothing this year to really convince me that they can tell a legit story with Roman Reigns, because this is what they do, and they've done it for the past 3-4 years. Because ever since I've feel like, what year did he lose? 2023?
4.
Was it 24? Oh yeah, sure, crap. Bit old now again. Anyway, so like maybe like 2023 on is when they stopped booking him consistently, and he had more of a part-time schedule. And because of that, it's been this like, okay, here's maybe a story, you're around for 2 months and that's it. But the last arguably 3 WrestleManias, there really has not been much build from Roman Reigns. It's always been the other people. And I'm not knocking him for that, but I have to look at the booking and the storytelling of that, and it's like, okay, they lost at War Games. He fucked off for a couple months. He came back and won the Rumble, and that's enough.
I'm thinking that
Tell me a story. Just,
they might have given. I still am considering, though, that they might have kind of given him a part-time schedule last year where he wasn't in the main event scene because they had John Cena up there, where it's like, well, we kind of don't need you.
That's fair, but even in the program with him, Rollins, and Punk, I just felt like more of the other guys than really did him.
Well, yeah, because the focus was on, well, he was doing movies and all that stuff. It's
That's true. That's
okay,
fair.
you're going to, I personally feel like that when you're in WWE and you're doing movies, you're still working because you're still representing WWE because you're in a fucking movie. Like that's the way I've always considered it, because, you're still doing marketing for the company because it's just like, and Roman Reigns because working, it's like, because you're working for the company.
Yeah.
So it's like, so from that part, I get it. But I do understand though. Why people are just like, well, he's not around and all that stuff. It's like, well, yeah, that's true. But
the thing is this, I want to be clear though, Dan, like, I'm not hating on Roman himself for that.
No, I'm not. I'm not either.
I don't put that on him. I put that on the booking. That's the
Yes.
problem. And that's why, again, I have to sit here and say, like, I love Roman Reigns as a character. I think he's, from everything I've read and heard about him, I think he's a phenomenal human being as well. But it's his booking. It really is. And again, I don't want to watch another third Cody and Roman story where Cody is the one doing everything. And again, I don't put that on Roman. I don't put that on Cody. I put that on the booking. I just
Like
don't
that-
want it.
I think Triple H's booking is almost like that kid in American Beauty that was just videotaping the plastic bag just floating in like the breeze. Like it's
Yeah.
just like
But,
it's like what are we playing in obscurity here? What are we doing here?
but that's what it feels like.
Because I want to be able to sit there and be like, because do I think he's a
A pain in
I
the
think
ass.
I think Triple H is a competent booker, but my problem is that it's like you're not doing a great service to a lot of these guys, like as far as their booking is concerned, because it's like at the same time, it is very annoying with Triple H sometimes, especially with that ad this week that he did with like Peyton Manning. Of just
Oh
like,
my god.
figure me into WrestleMania
Oh.
plans. It's like, it's not about you. Like, you're the booker. You're not supposed to, like,
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Take everything out of what you just said, and here's what they should have done is show him one time at the end of the commercial, not the entire commercial, and then playing the clips intermittently. It doesn't, and I feel like we've talked about this before. Other content creators probably talked about this before, and I know I've read it. It's not a fucking vanity project.
it's not.
Just fucking book meaningful content. Because at the end of the day, that's the crux of like everything, right? It's wrestling, it's YouTube, it's music, it's art, it's books, it's content. Right? Something is content to somebody. It's just make it make sense and make it impactful for somebody. What you're doing right now is only seeming to be impactful for you when you have a commercial like that out there.
The issue that I have, one of the big issues that I have with Triple H is the fact that, like, so a perfect example, 30 years ago, Brian Pillman and Kevin Sullivan were having a feud, and they had a strap match at Super Brawl 6. And at one point, Brian Pillman just quit in the middle of the match and looked at him and got on the microphone and said, "I respect you, Booker man." And everybody, like the smart crowd, was like, but everybody was just like, huh? Like nobody really got it. Because at the same time, like only indie wrestling nerds, like the insiders, which at that point in 1996, really wasn't many of them because
No.
it wasn't like you had to work to understand what he was saying at that show because it was such an inside terminology. Like no one had ever used booker before in a major capacity. Like it would be like an executive committee or an executive or president or something like that. Never booker. And Triple H, ever since he took over the book, it's just like, well, I'm the guy creating the content. Even Vince was the boss in charge, right? You knew that it was like he owned the company. But at the same time, it's not like he came out and he's just like, "I'm the booker." Ha 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 ha. You knew he was the booker, but he didn't have to come out and be like the booker. Like even Tony Khan, it's like he's the owner. But at the same time, only like the inside, like that's all you know, like on camera, is that he's the booker. That he's not the booker. He's just like the executive producer. He's the guy in Gorilla, and he's like the owner. But you could think that somebody else is in his creative because he's not like, well, I'm the booker. He's just the boss because he's the owner of the company. Triple H is the complete opposite because it's just like, I have the pencil.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
And I feel like this will lead to another show in the future because I feel like we've talked about this in the past. But I still want to pose the question to you. And I feel like people especially if you watch this on YouTube, again, just go check our other videos out there. You can make comments, obviously, and this is kind of where I'll ask that question, right? So, if there's so much wrestling content out there right now, what current show, rigorous wrestling show, I mean, are you watching? Are you watching all of them, or are you singling and zeroing in on like one specific show that you're watching?
Right now, I'm kind of going back and forth between all of them. Like as far as like I'm just trying to getting like the important segments out there and that type of stuff, and the important matches. I try to cut the fat out of it just because the fact it's just there's so much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Okay. And
so hold on, just to go off on a tangent just yet. Here's the follow-up question. That if that's your answer, right? So, which show then do you prefer to watch on a weekly? New shows. Not going back and like watching the older content, we know that stuff. But if you had to pick one show that you feel stands out, maybe on a weekly basis, what show do you think that is?
It's very surprising to people, and people are going to be very surprised about what I'm going to say.
I don't think they're going to be surprised, but go ahead.
Dynamite.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think this week it sucked.
It did suck, but like I
think Dynamite is tough to watch on a regular basis. That's my thing.
It's tough to watch on a regular basis, but also at the same time, it's never boring.
I'll give you that.
Never boring.
I'll give you that.
Where I look at Raw and SmackDown sometimes, and it's a 50-50 shot whether it's going to be boring. Because mind you, there have been some very good Raws. Like they're few and far between.
Yeah.
Yes. But at the same time, it's like once a month, once every 2 months, which is fine. Because there have been some calendar years that they have not done shit on their weekly TV, on either show.
Oh, I thought we were saying that first week of the year, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like,
we can only go up from here.
Like, exactly. It's like we can only go up from here.
It's just, I felt, and this is kind of why, going back to what I asked you earlier about the crossover.
We'll be able to talk about SmackDown next week too. So,
yeah, whatever. Anyways, I've checked out of SmackDown at this point. I know it's been good at some point.
Cody's not your fault.
It's not. Dude, I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan. I just can't watch SmackDown. I have them. I literally have them recorded. I still haven't watched them. I don't want to go back to it.
Apparently, considering the fact that I've made it known that I'm based out of Central Massachusetts. They were in Worcester, and apparently their latest their latest live event tour for their holiday tour was the highest grossing house show that they have ever done in the city of Worcester, which ended up was over 8,000 people. And I was like, for a house show, that is unheard of. As far as attendance.
Yeah, so I guess we'd talk about that real quick. A couple people did ask us, you and I, if we were going to go, if we wanted to go, whatever. Yes. I'm like, why? Like I know they had like I think Liv wrestled, I believe.
Yes.
Cody and Drew
cage match.
Yep, yeah. Cody and Drew at a cage match. Which listen, for a house show, I was like, holy shit. That's rare for a house show.
It is.
I think Kairi Sane wrestled, if I remember correctly. And there were probably a couple matches. There were probably like 5-6 matches.
I did see a Hartford house show where it was CM Punk and The Miz in a cage for the title.
No, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. They're rare.
Especially right now, right? Where they're on that downturn from the house show circuits. Like, those dates are severely limited compared to years prior. But
that's true.
But having said that, though, the fact that they had it during this downturn, I was like, holy shit. But, yeah, apparently it was a great show. A couple of people we knew went, and great for them. They got to see their stars that they wanted to. But
nothing but
I
respect
just-
for Cody Rhodes too for hanging out, like doing autographs
Yeah,
and pictures,
exactly.
like 30 minutes after the show. It's like, okay, like, that's why he's in the spot that he's in.
Yeah, he gives
Like,
a shit. You can tell. He gives a shit about the fans and this product he puts out there. But yeah, I mean, listen,
Apparently
I don't know.
Hogan was like that too. There were guys like Bret Hart was like that. There were other guys. There were guys that were always in that spot. Austin. We heard about the stories too.
right.
Like
Yeah.
that they were just interacting with fans and doing, The Rock. Like just certain guys did it. Even John Cena too. But there was Shawn Michaels did it. Like there were people that did it.
That Shawn Michaels video this week of him rolling around on that roller scooter thing was fucking hilarious. I thought that was so cool.
Oh, God bless him.
Live it up, Sean. Live it up, buddy.
He's got to.
Yep. But yeah, that
Anything
was.
else we want to discuss?
That's actually what I was about to say. That was a Monday night commercial.
Commercial!
Yeah, it can only go up from here, folks, as Mac and I were telling earlier. But that was pretty much it with the first week, I think. And as far as news is concerned, other Andrade making the switch, it really was kind of a midweek as far as news is concerned too.
Yeah,
So
listen. Like, I was sitting here like, what are we going to talk about?
the Rumble is just around the corner.
Yeah, but it's like they haven't announced anything about it really. And I feel like we have a Sunday night or Saturday night main event, coming up.
I feel like we do too, but
I feel like it's the week before Rumble, or maybe 2 weeks, but I think it's like the week before.
We'll be fine. We'll have plenty to discuss. Well, there's going to be signings, there's going to be rumors and all this stuff coming up, so it'll be fun. But Obafemi's also getting the call up because he vacated the NXT championship.
Yep.
So he'll be making his way to the main roster as well. So we're getting I think everybody's excited for that.
I just looked it up, by the way. Saturday night main event on Saturday, January 24th.
It should be Obafemi, not Braun Breaker. It shouldn't be.
Speaking of people that should win the Rumble, too, that would be awesome.
That'd be sick. Like I would. He might be in the final four though. He'll get a dominant.
He better be,
performance.
man. He better be in the final four. Holy shit!
Like he might get a performance that's just like, okay, there's no doubting that this guy's going to be like a top guy in the next 18 months.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So.
All right, I guess that's it for Pro Wrestling World Talks. As Dan and I alluded to, we're going to do another show that we're about to record here very shortly.
Yes.
Put that one up on YouTube. So if you listen to us
YouTube
on Apple,
and Facebook.
Yep. If you listen on Apple or Spotify or anything, go to YouTube under Diamond Podcasting Productions and check out our who knows how many times we'll do another show. But check it out.
Dan and Mac read YouTube. Dan and Mac read Turtle Boy. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you next week, folks.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll see you next week.